how to make a sock horse as part of my environmental science project. The two finished ones that you see here are made of new store-bought materials, but today I'm going to show you how to make one with used materials. First off, you will need the following to make your sock horse. One pair of socks, if they're used they need to be washed, a sewing needle, thread, a pair of scissors, stuffing, which can be from an old stuffy that's washed, yarn, that can be old, washed from a knit sweater or scarf, and old buttons. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is take one of the socks. This is one of my socks. And you need to look for the crease down the long side, so it'll be right along here and right along here. You then want to flatten that crease by pulling on the sides that don't have a crease. So that'll be the front and the back, if you're looking at it like me. So I'm going to pull on these sides, and then you can see that crease down the middle like that. You then want to flatten your sock. Next, with your scissors, you're going to cut along the crease that you flattened, so you can still see the line, until you're about 3/4 of the way up to the heel of the sock. So you're going to stop cutting around here. To save time, I did the next two steps already. To do so, you'll want to stuff from the toe to the heel of the sock. Be careful not to overstuff it or your horse will be too stiff. Next, sew the legs, leaving the feet open. So you'll want to start sewing here and leave this part open. You'll want to sew all the way up into the crotch area and then back down here, leaving this part open. Again, be careful with the amount of stuffing you use when you stuff the legs, or they will be too stiff too. Sew up the feet, and you now have the torso and legs of your sock horse. Now that you've used up your first sock, it's time to do more cutting. Again, I've already done this to save time. Take your second sock and cut straight across just before the heel, so right along here. This will serve as the horse's head. You then will want to make a second cut straight across right after the heel, so that you have the heel section of your sock actually cut out. So you're going to cut along here so that you have this part all cut out. Next, cut down the length of the long side of your sock so that you have two long pieces. These will be the arms. So you're going to cut this big section in half so that it's two pieces. Okay, so then you want to take this heel part that we just cut out, and see how there's that crease again? You're going to take a pair of scissors and you're just going to cut along that crease so that the heel becomes two pieces. So then you have this piece and this piece, and these will be your ears. So now it comes time to stuff the arms. So just like the legs, but a little bit differently, this time you're actually going to leave this part, the foot part, you're going to actually sew up along the arm, but then leave the bottom part open. And you're going to stuff that, again being careful with the stuffing, so that it looks roughly like this. And then of course you're going to sew up that other end. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to stuff the ears, and you're going to sew them up. And then you're going to fill the toe part of the sock about halfway, and then you're going to tie around here with some yarn. I'm going to use yarn from a scarf that I kind of failed at making. So then you're going to tie it around the neck, and this top part will be the head and face. Right where the yarn's going to be is going to be the neck, and then you're going to sew the rest of it over the top of the toe of your other sock. Okay, so this is what your sock horse should look now that you have attached the head and finished stuffing. So now what you're going to do is you're going to add the arms and the ears. So you're going to attach the arms on each side, so around here and around there. And then the ears go on the top of the head, right about here, and then on the other side. So this is what your horse should look like now that you have your arms and your ears sewed on. So now you're going to go ahead and sew on buttons for eyes. So now that the basic body of your sock horse is completed, you can now start to do the mane and tail. So I'm going to start by doing the tail. First you want to cut a bunch of pieces of yarn in equal lengths, and you're going to want to use either a rug hook or a wool needle. So then you're going to want to thread your needle, and then you're just going to thread it through the base of the mane and pull through so that you have each end sticking out of part of the mane. So then you're going to take the needle off, and then you're going to tie this part up to cover up the gray section. So now I have a completed mane, and I'm going to go do the tail. So when you're doing the tail, you pretty much want to do the exact same thing, except you want the tail facing down. So when you tie your knots, you want to make sure that the gray section is shaped like that. Shaped like that. So when you tie it, you can make the knot face downwards. So this is your finished sock horse. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave me a message or a comment below. Thanks for watching.